Oh, I'm tired. Okay. If I sound a little stuffed up, just have a little congestion. I think it's allergies. I'm not sick though, so I will not get you sick through the camera. Okay. Today is not a list video. It's one of the, I think, 3 or 4, or the handful that I recorded before on my other hard drive. If none of you guys know that story, shot a bunch of stuff on that hard drive. It's a disk drive. I don't think I broke the disk, but something's happened where it's not being read. I gotta bring it to my IT homies because I don't have access to that footage, so it is what it is. And so I'm reshooting a handful of those videos because I can probably make them way better anyways, right? Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the concept of seasons, of eras, of thinking of your life in terms of seasons, right? In terms of you're at a certain place, and this is the place that you're at, and this is the thing you're working on, but it's not like a fixed thing. And the reason why I like when people are, talking about living their life, and I'm in the season of this, I'm in my whatever era, all of those things, and that terminology is, I do think it changes the perspective that you look at your life as a whole. And so what I mean by that is, I feel like there's a lot of life expectations. You need to go to college at a certain age. You need to be moved out at a certain point. You need to have kids at a certain point, X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third. And I feel like, especially this generation, or any generation really, I don't think that's helpful. I don't think that's helpful thinking you need to be here at this time in X, Y, and Z. I think there's reasons for it, reaching maturity at a certain age, having certain responsibilities and expectations that are going to be put on you, and the burden of carrying those responsibilities is important, and I don't think that should be understated. But at the same time, I feel like this expectation to have everything figured out, or that you can't be a certain age and trying something new, or those kinds of things, I think are incredibly toxic and not helpful at all to living a life that's conducive to finding the things that you want, and we only have this one life, and that's all we get. And so to live it so withheld, so, I don't know, what's the best word for it? Like, just mediocre, just, not going for all the things and not trying to, have the best possible life that you can at any given moment possible. I think it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of life, essentially, to be doing that. And so I love the concept of thinking in terms of seasons or of sections of your life, as opposed to, well, by this age I need to have this thing done and whatever. I just think that's not helpful. Yeah, I think seasons for the expectations that people have upon life stuff, especially when it comes to, like, maybe college, dating, kids, marriage, having your own house, all of those things. I think making sure to understand what it is that you actually want from those things, so that way you're not getting swept up in the wrong crowd that's going to take you to the wrong places. It might not be that any particular place is bad, it's just that it's not your place, you know what I mean? And so finding the right people to be around, I think, is super key. I'm 26, so one, take this all with a grain of salt, but I have some friends who are my age or younger who are having kids, getting a house, doing those types of things before they're 30, or some of them aren't even going to be thinking about it until after that. I have friends that are going back to school. I have friends on their 3rd kid. It varies so much. I've had friends that have passed. Like, life's crazy. Everything's all over the place. I think stressing out about needing to be somewhere at a certain time and place doesn't help you, in the long run. So another thing that I think is helpful is in goal building, or like goal setting, or like thinking big picture. Because I think in terms of thinking in seasons helps you build towards those things a little bit easier rather than any other time frame. I think obviously certain things you got to goal set, you got to look at, and you got to be specific, right? I think SMART goal setting, right? The first one is specific, I'm pretty sure, right? So I'm not saying that you should be generic, but I think it gives you a different perspective. I think by thinking of things in terms of seasons or eras, or like, this is just the time of my life where I'm going to focus on this, and I'm not going to stress too much about the other things. Those things will come when they need to, and you'll find those along the way. I think it definitely helps with perspective on those things when it comes to the goals. Because what is it? I think we overestimate what we're capable of doing in a year, but we underestimate what we're capable of doing or 5 to 10, something like that, right? And so I think that depending on where you're at in life, focusing on like your environment around you then and there, and focusing on being as present as you can be with whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you'll get better results than always worrying about the next thing and the next thing. That's not to say you shouldn't have the end goal in mind, but I think too many times we get swept up in what we think we're supposed to do to get there, as opposed to having the goal and doing whatever it takes to get there helps you experience things. That's where the life is happening, is experiencing things in the present, getting to those different places, and then maybe you end up somewhere you didn't expect and you're okay with that, and maybe you're not and you have to course correct. But at the end of the day, being present is the only way to like truly experience the things that are actually happening around you, instead of always building and never really just existing. And I think especially hustle culture and all those other things kind of deprive people of that. I'll be happy once I hit this much money, or I'll be happy once X, Y, and Z, where I think it's just about enjoying the process of building towards whatever the next thing is. That once you achieve whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve right now, there's gonna be the next thing. And so I think being excited about the process more so than actually achieving any of the things is the part that's the enjoyable part, if that makes any sort of sense, right? We don't play sports or do any of the things to win the game. Like, we want to win the game, but at the end of the day, if you didn't get to play in the game, but you won the game, it doesn't feel as good, right? You want to have contributed to that and had that experience. So we want to play. And so I think a lot of times people are always preparing or getting too stuck in a specific thing. And as on either end of the spectrum, they're either too stuck in the moment and can't ever think ahead, and they're just, spontaneous. Yes, they're spontaneous, right? They're spontaneous and always just going and not really thinking ahead. They don't think ahead. And then we have some people that plan way too much, and I'm in that ladder of, I'm definitely in that group of, we're always thinking way too far ahead. We're always worried about that, but we can't ever enjoy what's happening right now, and so I think finding that balance and finding people that can balance you out with that are super helpful. That was my little rant about thinking in your life in terms of seasons and things like that. I don't know, it was kind of esoteric, a little philosophical today, but hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me some feedback, follow, comment, subscribe, like it if you liked it. If you didn't like it, still like it. Thank you. And give me a follow, and we'll catch you guys later. All right, peace.